Okay.
Okay, everybody ready? All right. Good afternoon and welcome to On the Road Lending's third installation of the Momentum series. My name is Lonnie Smith, Vice President of Business Development. I reside in Atlanta, Georgia. Today's focus is on workforce development innovators, helping create pathways to economic mobility. We have a very distinguished panel with 4 outstanding organizations. Let's meet our panelists. Today we have with us Sherelle Sidney, who is a career development manager at the Wesley House in Houston. We also have Rachel Blackman, who's a Senior Director of Administration and Impact with our sister organization, On the Road Garage. We also have with us Jeanette Brown, who is Director of Housing at the Urban League of Greater Atlanta. And shortly joining us will be Sheila Marks Jolivet, who is the CEO of Inspiring Tomorrow's Leaders out of Dallas. So thank you for joining us. We're going to jump right into our panel. And so the first question I have, and Sherelle, I'm going to start with you in Houston. Each one of you, I would like for you to briefly share your organization's mission and core services. Sherelle?
Hi there, am I first? Okay, I apologize, I'm having trouble hearing. I am Sherelle Sidney. I am from Wesley Community Center. I am so excited to be here. I'm the Career Development Manager. I want to tell you this. First, for those of you who don't know about Wesley Community Center, we are in the near north side of Houston. But even though we're in the near north side, we are a blessing all over town. Our mission is to invest in the potential of individuals and creating opportunities to strengthen families and build neighborhoods. That is what our goal is at Wesley. And you did say you want to know about some of the programs that we have, is that right? All right, super duper fantastic. Now the department that I represent is the Financial Opportunity Center. We do assist clients from the cradle all the way to our seniors. So we do have programs in place for the kids as well as the senior citizens. And then in the Financial Opportunity Center, we have folks that are able to help get you to the next level in your finances. Am I saying too much right now? Or do you want to know more about those programs?
That's excellent. Appreciate that intro and sharing the mission of Wesley, a great partner with On the Road Lending. We appreciate it. Next, let's move to Sheila Marks Jolivet, who's the CEO of Inspiring Tomorrow's Leaders out of Dallas. Please share your mission and some of your core services so we get to know a little bit more about your organization.
Thanks, Lonnie. We are striving to mitigate the wealth divide by inspiring leaders for today's workforce to create generational legacies of families with continuous education, job security and retention, and financial stability in the Dallas-Fort Worth cities. We provide workforce development training, career development, pathways to employment, job coaching for our clients, and generally because our delivery is mobile, we will service the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, but have a specific Uber focus on the south and southern sector of the city.
Thank you, Sheila. And Jeanette Brown, fellow ATLian with the Urban League of Greater Atlanta, Director of Housing. Please share a little bit about the Urban League mission and core services, please. Jeanette, you're on mute.
There we go. I beg your pardon. Thank you again, Lonnie, to you and your team for having us today on such an important information. As stated, I'm with the Urban League of Greater Atlanta, and we are a civil rights organization. This year, we celebrate our centennial in Atlanta. So we are super excited. It's our 100th year in Atlanta. Our national organization, of course, is in New York. And what our mission is in Atlanta is to enable and empower African Americans and others to achieve their highest human potential and secure economic self-reliance, partially power and civil rights. We have a few core divisions with the Urban League. Mine is housing, wealth building, and community development. We also have a strong workforce development division. We are a workforce development agency. We also have a very vigorous youth division, as well as a tremendous entrepreneurship division. And I am excited to speak to you a little bit more in depth about what we have to offer in our divisions later. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanette, and congratulations on the centennial anniversary.
Thank
That's
you.
a significant accomplishment and landmark.
Absolutely. Thank
Absolutely. Congratulations. And last but not least, we also have Rachel Blackman. She's Senior Director of Administration and Impact, and she is with our newly formed sister organization based out of Dallas, On the Road Garage.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Lonnie. Thanks for having me. Yeah, so as Lonnie mentioned, On the Road Garage is a sister company. We're part of On the Road Companies. Just like all of On the Road companies, our focus is on building prosperity. So at the garage, our slogan is that we're rebuilding more than cars. So we are a fully functional, for-profit business. So we offer sort of core services and collision repair, which includes body repair, paint. We offer automotive service as well as mechanical work. And then one of the other areas that sets us apart is we offer diagnostics and full calibration of advanced driver assistance systems, which is very rare and unique within this space. But really, truly at the heart of our business is we're about workforce development. The collision industry, not many people know, has a significant talent shortage. And we're really looking to build a pipeline. We want to introduce collision as a prosperous industry and a viable career choice. We're offering paid Department of Labor certified apprenticeships so that we can introduce this, like I said, prosperous industry to more folks. We all know that education has pushed a lot of people more into the four-year degree paths. We don't invest as much in vocational training or vocational schools, especially. So we're looking to partner not only with schools and with different organizations, but to be able to provide training on site in all areas of our business. So our apprenticeships will include at least 5 different career areas to start, and we're looking to expand that as quickly as possible. So I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you, Rachel. So let's move a little bit further and talk about, we have some challenging times that we're a part of. And you all have been on the front lines helping people get gainful employment. But as we think about the challenges, share a little bit more about your workforce development programs and how you've had to pivot or innovate. And Sherelle, if you don't mind, could you start us off? Thank you.
Fantastic. Absolutely, I will. Absolutely. So at Wesley Community Center, we have definitely had to get creative. It's forced us outside of our box. We currently offer programs, certified nursing assistant, scholarships is what we offer. What we typically do is we have clients come to our Financial Opportunity Center where they're able to take advantage of our Bridges to Career opportunities. That is where they will sit between
Sherelle, we can't hear you right now.
Okay, can you hear now?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind starting from the top, we apologize about that. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi there, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
So again, we have the program where we provide apprenticeships for folks who are trying to do certified nursing assistant. We have had to get creative in the sense of clients are unable to come on campus to get that adult basic education. So we have pushed our classes online. Matter of fact, we've got a class coming up next month for anyone who's interested in getting that CNA certification. We provide that adult basic education that earns them the scholarship to the community college of their choice. Another of the programs that we have is for PDA, which stands for Child Development Associate. We will have that one not starting until October. And then there's the Patient Care Tech program. Patient Care Tech is super exciting because it allows them to gain multiple certifications in one. Online in the past, they come to West Community Center, just discusses, but again, now
I'm sorry, Sherelle, we're having a little bit difficulty hearing you. So why don't we pivot at this point? Are you back? Sherelle, we'll come back to you. We were having a little bit of difficulty there towards the end. And Sheila, could we ask you to talk a little bit about your workforce development programs, how you've had to pivot and or innovate during this time?
Yes, and thank you again. Our flagship program is around the insurance industry. We offer a flagship insurance leadership program that provides individuals with the technical and essential skills required for them to attain their Texas property and casualty insurance licensure. And as Rachel mentioned earlier, there's an abundance of individuals that need additional pathways over and beyond four-year degrees to great living wage jobs. And this is one of the positions that are available here within the Dallas market area that we are arming individuals with the necessary skills in order to take advantage of. And so our program consists of both the essential skills and the technical skills training. The individuals are able to come through our training. They get prepared to take their state certification. We help them navigate through that point, navigate through their fingerprinting that's required, and then assist them with processing their applications for their license. And then we become the pathway between them and jobs. Two of our largest partners that are partnering with us is Allstate and State Farm Insurance. We place a significant number of individuals throughout the year with those two companies. But I must say that this particular credential or license allows an individual to sell insurance throughout the state of Texas to anyone that lives in the state of Texas and to any work for any insurance company within the state of Texas. Additionally, through our strategic partner, Impact Institute, we can offer additional programming to others who are maybe interested in the call center space or construction, hospitality, information technology, which we all know is a great career choice in terms of seeking out living wage income, and then also warehousing and logistics. Our programming through Inspiring Tomorrow's Leaders is free to the participants as long as they are underemployed, which for us is earning less than $37,000 annually, and or if they are unemployed. In terms of the pivot, we delivered our training and we pride ourselves in doing so in a leader-led environment. So all of our training class had previously, pre-COVID, were delivered in person with the leader-led instructor. Due to COVID, we had to pivot, and we had to pivot pretty quickly to put in an infrastructure which we were not forecasting to deliver until the fourth quarter of this year, but we pivoted to a virtual platform. And in doing so, we ran into several challenges, one of which was how are we going to get our training materials to individuals within the community, both electronic and paper, in a safe environment. And so we had to navigate through those logistics. And then secondly, we experienced, and I know that each of you that are listening to this understand that COVID had a real negative impact to the under-resourced community, in that many of the households that we were trying to deliver services to did not have access to technology, be it that a computer or access to the internet. And so what we found ourselves in a position of is, how are we going to loan devices out to individuals in order for them to gain access to the network? And even if they did not have connectivity, how could we help them navigate to do such? And so we partnered with different organizations. Some of our students even located public Wi-Fi locations in order for them to participate. And I'm so proud. We graduated our first class at the end of April. We're currently in our second virtual class, and our students are doing significantly well, probably well beyond what we would have expected in this virtual environment.
Sheila, that's excellent. That's incredible. And we did have a question in the chat space about if people have a criminal record, would they be eligible for some of your program to gain employment?
So yes, two things I want to talk about relative to a criminal record. The Texas State of Insurance has about 5 areas of blemishes on your background. They will work through. I won't name all 5 of them, but I will say this. If you have an infraction and it's in one of the 5, we will allow you to come through the programming, and what you will need at the end of the process is 3 personal letters of individuals who have character letters that they've written on your behalf, and we will submit that with your application. Of course, we cannot guarantee, but certainly we will not allow, if the area is not within the 5 that we know that they will not accept, we will help you navigate through that space. Now, for those who have infractions that we know the Texas State Insurance Board will not accept, we will help you navigate through some of our partner attorneys that we have to help try to devise a strategy by which we can move further into our training and development process without that being an issue, so that we can guarantee, and I use guarantee lightly, so that we will have an assurance that at the end of the training cycle, we can transition you into employment without that being a hassle.
That's great. Thank you, Sheila. Really appreciate it. Hats off in terms of the outstanding work that you all are doing there in Dallas, Fort Worth area. Sherelle, let's come back to you. Did you have any additional words that you would like to share? Sherelle?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Fantastic. I'm not really sure where I left off, so I apologize.
No worries.
Technology is something. You asked the question about the services that we offer. Again, I do represent the Financial Opportunity Center. We do have our clients online taking advantage of the Bridges to Career Opportunities. Once you go through that 6 to 8 week process, that makes you eligible for some of the scholarship programs that we have. And so the programs that we have are CNA, that's Certified Nursing Assistant. One thing I can say is with COVID going on, there is absolutely a need for those folks who are passionate about providing excellent patient care. We have the CDA program, which is the Child Development Associate. So if you are passionate about working with kids, you want to get that foot in the door at a daycare center, or even some of the early childhood education centers, that's definitely an excellent program for you to participate in. And then there is the patient care technician. as I was saying, is fantastic because you get several certifications in one. That's the CNA, which is Certified Nursing Assistant, phlebotomy, EKG, and then there's the medical terminology. Those are really great certifications because maybe you will get a position in a hospital and you say, you know what, I want to be able to do more than just one role. And so that's really great if you want to take advantage of that. We do have a class starting for CNA as early as next month. One of the things I say to you is we see, even with COVID, that the medical field is always hiring. So as I said, we have to get creative. So we're doing everything online right now. Normally it will be in person. I tell you this, I'm a person that loves to hug on my clients. So I look forward to being able to hug on them again. But for now, I'm going to have to love on you from the computer screen. So I need you to work with me there. If you are interested in any of those programs, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Those are kind of some of the programs that we offer. The other thing that we're doing at Wesley, which is a big deal, is we've got a lot of surveys going on because you know what? So often we think we know what people need. We assume we know the answers to the test. But we decided, you know what, we're gonna have to hear it from the client's mouth. We're gonna have to hear it from the potential client's mouth. So we're reaching out to clients every day to find out what are the services that you need and how can Wesley help you to get what it is that you need. So, hey, I suggest that you join our team because as we go along, there may be some other really great programs that we offer in relation to what's going on with COVID-19.
Sherelle, that's excellent. That's a great point to make in terms of making sure that we're listening to the community's needs and the community voice. So, Sherelle, I would ask you and any others, as you talk about your programs, these are phenomenal programs, but if you could also talk about the qualifications. So, Sherelle, if you could talk about the qualifications of the program you mentioned, and then Sheila, if we could go back to you and talk about the qualifications. You're not in Atlanta though, correct? You're strictly in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So Sherelle, if you could talk about the qualifications, Sheila, then we'll come back to you, and then we'll get to the Urban League. So thank you for your time.
Absolutely, absolutely. So again, we are in Houston in the near north side, but we are not zip code restricted. All we are looking for is folks that want to put a little skin in the game. Let's get it done. The thing that I say is COVID is not going to stop you. Whatever your dreams, goals, and aspirations are, let's do it. So Sherelle, how do we do it? I'm glad you asked. Okay. If you're a person that says, I want to do CNA, believe it or not, the community colleges do not require you to have a high school diploma. They do not require a high school diploma. Now, if you're a person that needs a GED, we do have a GED program if that's something that you need assistance with. So if you're wanting to do CNA, really it's just a desire. We do want folks to get their diplomas and GEDs. And again, we can help with that if that's something that you need, but it is not required. For CDA, and then some of the other programs like phlebotomy, EKG, those things, now they're going to require a high school diploma. I know there was a question posed earlier in regards to criminal backgrounds. Anytime you talk about dealing with human life, there's going to be case by case. I won't say that a background will deter you 100%, but I will say that if you have background issues, I ask that you let me know up front so that we can map out the best plan for you. So you just have to have a desire and a high school diploma for most of those programs. But again, for CNA, it's not required.
Excellent. Thanks, Sherelle. And Sheila, could you address the question around qualifications, please?
So I want to start by saying, Sherelle, thank you for saying desire. Because one of the things that we recognize here with our programming is that we can help you with the skill, but what we cannot be is your will. So you have to come into the program really wanting and desiring a change in your life. If that is what you are desiring, we're here to help you. We're passionate about our ability to help create a pivot in individuals' lives so that they can go on to live in a living wage environment. And so with that in mind, our programming is designed for individuals who are unemployed and underemployed. Underemployed meaning that you have to earn $37,000 or less a year in order to participate in our programming. You also have to perform at a 10th grade level from an academic perspective. We will test you on the front end. We both do assessments to determine your academic level, and we also do assessments that will help us understand, if not insurance, what is the right career pathway given what you have given in feedback during your assessment that might best suit you, so that we can help you navigate through that pathway to those jobs. But those are our primary goals. Now, once you do get into our intake process, we will ask you for a little bit more personal information to ensure that you qualify for pre-programming given our funders' requirements. But the two basic hurdles that you have to go through is, number one, can you perform at a 10th grade level? Because we know that the curriculum of which you're going to be exposed to is such that if you cannot perform at the level, you're not going to be successful. And if not, we know how to navigate you to other programs that will help you overcome that particular area of opportunity. And then once we get you into the program, we can help you navigate through all of the other information that we need, your basic proof of your income, you have children's and things of that nature throughout the intake process. But if you earn less than 37,000, you are unemployed and you can perform at a 10th grade level, remember there may be some issues if you have a background, but we're here to help you through that. Then please call us. We're ready to onboard you to our next training class.
Thank you, Ms. Sheila. Really appreciate that. Let's shift to Jeanette and John with the Urban League of Greater Atlanta.
Super. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you?
We're doing great. Great to hear your voice, John.
So glad to be with you all from the great city of Atlanta today. I'm joined by my colleague, Jeanette Brown. And so just very quickly, this is our 100th anniversary. The National Urban League, we have over 90 affiliates. We were founded in New York City in 1910. We were founded in Atlanta on March 15th, 1920. So this is our space. This is our sweet spot. This is what we do. And so for us, workforce development really is really a key pillar of the services that we provide. And so I certainly want to echo what Sheila was saying. We certainly had to pivot very quickly with the COVID pandemic. And so we've gone to a virtual platform, and believe it or not, it's been very successful for us. So for us here in Atlanta, our president and CEO, Nancy Flake Johnson, always talks about, meeting people where they are. And that's just something certainly that we do. Ours is a sector-based strategy. Certainly pre-COVID, some of the sweet spots for us certainly here in Atlanta was hospitality, logistics and transportation, healthcare, and construction. But even in the midst of COVID, there are still some sweet spots. So certainly healthcare certainly remains a sweet spot. Construction is still ongoing, and finance and some other industries. And we certainly are optimistic that as we get a handle on this COVID situation, that those industries are going to come back. So what we're doing is, we're really preparing our folks. We know that all of the studies show that in the metropolitan area here in Atlanta, you need about 20 to survive for a family of three. And for us, it's about not necessarily starting at $28 an hour, but certainly putting people on the pathway to get there. And so we've developed a series of programs to help our folks. So for example, we have construction. We have a youth build program, which is a national program. And we're constantly training our youth, particularly young people, to go into the trades. There's a skills gap right now with the trades. So we have a robust training program with the Georgia Building Trades program. The Urban League has recently entered the space in terms of a registered apprenticeship training program. So we're partnering with the United States Department of Labor, and soon we'll certainly be an official sponsor there. We have a very robust relationship with our corporate partners. So recently, in the last few years, we kicked off with Wells Fargo a program called, I'm getting some feedback. I think that's from Sydney. Mute your line. Thank you. So we're partnering with Wells Fargo. We have something called BankWorks, and we've been doing it for almost 3 years now. And we've been training, I think either on a 7th or 8th cohort, people to go into the banking industry. And we have a whole host of banking partners: Wells Fargo, Bank of America, BB&T, Truist Bank, on and on and on. And so that's some of the sweet spots that we've been doing. We've also been working with our corporate sponsors. So we're very blessed. In Atlanta, we have some of the largest corporate 500 firms here. So whether it's with the Lyft or Waffle House or UPS, it goes on and on, Walgreens, and a number of other folks, we've been partnering with them. So within the next few weeks, next week, I have a number of virtual career workforce career information sessions with Waffle House, with UPS, certainly with Walgreens, CVS, and some others, because we believe this is the pathway to get people to the $28 an hour. I mean, good paying jobs for their families where they can grow. But we also believe that the more you earn, the more you learn is the more you earn. So we've partnered with our educational institutions. We have some of the best colleges in the country located here in the great city of Atlanta, including Atlanta Technical College. It was during the Obama administration, if you recall, Lonnie, that President Obama made a huge push in terms of partnering with the two-year colleges and technical colleges. And so we have a wonderful relationship with Atlanta Tech, where we're also offering our folks, the opportunity to get credentials, necessary credentials, in order to move their careers forward. So that's just some of the things, without boring you guys to death, of some of the things that we're working hard here in Atlanta. We have a very robust program in terms of GED, trying to get folks GED programs. We have a very robust reentry program. Those are returning citizens, people who have done their time, and we're certainly trying to transition them back into the mainstream. So that's some of the things that we're doing here, but I'll turn it back over to you, Lonnie, for any questions.
Thank you, John. Really appreciate you sharing those pathways and partnerships that the Urban League is creating. That's significant. We can't do any of this alone, so appreciate you highlighting some of those intentional collaborations and partnerships. Let's shift to Rachel. And Rachel, talk about On the Road Garage. Tell us a little bit about this car collision business we're starting up.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think before I nerd out a little too much about collision as a whole, I'm going to go specifically to your question about an area where we had to quickly pivot. So as we all know, COVID has thrown a lot of wrenches in. Excuse the pun. You're supposed to laugh. It's okay.
I'm laughing, Rachel. I thought that was
so, we've had a lot of things thrown our way. And for us specifically, we were trying to launch this business right in the middle of all of this. So we've been sort of slowly trudging, trying to get about a 24, through this wall behind me, we have a 24,000 square foot facility, state of the art equipment, but getting that up and running in the middle of this has been interesting. So lots of learning experiences, but what that's actually afforded us is an opportunity to launch a unique training program that's providing certification in advanced driver assistance systems. So ADAS for short. Those driver assistance systems are almost in every new vehicle you purchase, from front-facing cameras, sensors, things that tell you about lane changing, radars. Anytime a vehicle is in a collision, those need to be recalibrated. Calibration of those is one of the new up-and-coming skill sets in our new kind of technology forward industry. And there's no one that's really doing it. And not many people are teaching about it. So one of our quick pivots was to put together a 20-hour online training course that is providing a certification in that technology to introduce this technology either to folks that are already working within the industry. So we're approved by both the TWC, the Texas Workforce Commission, as well as the TEA. And we're able to offer the course for free to those folks that are approved by the TWC. So that includes folks that are unemployed, furloughed, as well as underemployed. So that was really exciting, and we're excited to be able to provide that as a service to the industry and to start to sort of re-educate. I like to think of times like this as a good time to return to learn. So it's a great opportunity, especially in collision. There's been a lot of layoffs and a lot of furloughs that have started to occur. Less cars on the road, less wrecks, less work for us. So this is an opportunity for some reskilling and some upskilling, and a very important set of upskilling. But like I started to say at the beginning, the heart of our business is workforce development. I've been in talent development for a little bit over 10 years, moved into collision repair about 5 years ago. And it's an industry that never thought I'd be working in. Not gonna lie, I was one of those kids that got told, you go to college, you go get your 4-year degree and you do this. And it's never an industry I expected to find myself in. And I'll tell you, it is an amazing industry. And it is an industry that I wish, and I'm hoping to be a part of a movement to talk more about it. We are in a climate, as I was saying, where vocational schools aren't necessarily an encouraged pathway. There's also a lot of technical schools that maybe haven't received the funding needed to actually teach the skills like ADAS, like this calibration technology, to be able to keep up with an industry that is moving just as fast. Teslas, et cetera. I mean, if you think about the amount of computers and technology that collision repair is becoming increasingly a STEM industry. I would say collision repair technicians are going to become more like engineers in the coming years. So we're really excited to be able to provide the Department of Labor certified apprenticeships. They'll be paid apprenticeships and paid for by us. In our industry, there's a lot of folks that'll quickly ask the question, oh, well, I'm a body man. Do I have to pay for my apprentice? So in our industry, it's actually customary where the teacher actually pays that person out of their wages. So in an effort to help encourage more folks to come into our industry to help close some of those skill gaps, we'll actually be covering that. And so all of our technicians will be training in their various areas. As I started to mention also, we will be having 5 separate career paths. To your question, Lonnie, about what are the skills that are required and what's needed. Number one is desire. In this industry, like Sheila and like we've been discussing, it's not an easy industry. Yesterday I was outside in the body shop. It was 104 degrees in Texas, wearing a face mask. It wasn't the best experience, but it's an incredibly rewarding, and it's a career that provides a lot of prosperity. Collision repair technicians can, starting out, you have to get to that $28 an hour, as John was referring. But there's technicians I know that make 6 figures. They do a lot of really good hard work, but you can certainly make more than a living wage and a very comfortable wage for a family. But there's not just collision repair and body work. We also have customer service. We have front office jobs. We have management pathways. And so we'll be looking to provide apprenticeships in all of those areas, trying to open up the industry to get more interest and get more folks over to us.
Thank you, Rachel. And thanks to all of our panelists. You all highlighted some phenomenal programs, some great pathways. And I think the theme that we talked about really was, meet people where they're at, and then that fire and desire, it's got to be there, right? So really appreciate all of you, the great work that you're doing. As we begin to close this out, if you could just leave us with a call to action, wish list, or some words of encouragement as people may be thinking about pursuing opportunities or working directly with your agency. And I'll go to the Urban League, if you all could start and bring us home.
Yes, Lonnie, I'd like to begin, and then I'll defer to my colleague for final comments. But I'd just like to reiterate, at the Urban League of Greater Atlanta, what our main focus are, as John spoke to, our president and CEO, Ms. Nancy Flake Johnson, charges us with meeting all of our clients where they are. And our panel guests often spoke to the desire to change careers or to begin a career, certainly increase their current wages and financial health. And with that said, the Urban League of Greater Atlanta, we evaluate where a person is. So when we bring them in, there's an evaluation of their current situation. We then equip we equipped them with the necessary items needed to push forward. And I think that was a common theme with everyone, with all of our panel guests. And then we elevate. We elevate them. We're going to get you from point A to point Z, and we're going to make that an easy transition for you through our education of through the platform of education, and making certain that that family becomes a viable family contributing to society. So those three things, if you don't take anything away from what it is the Urban League of Greater Atlanta does, we evaluate, we equip, and we elevate. And I'll defer to my colleague.
Thank you, Jeanette. John, any parting last words?
I think Jeanette summed it up best. But one thing that I would add to everyone who's listening is, these are very difficult times, and if you live long enough, they're going to come and they're going to go. So I would just say chin up, and just continue to have the faith that together, we are here to help, and don't lose hope and faith. Just hang in there, and we will find a way to get you to where you need to go. And thank you all so much. It was an honor to join you all here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John. Sherelle, any last words? And you're on mute. Mute.
All righty, can you hear me now? All right, fantastic. I am so glad that folks tuned in today. If you didn't hear me earlier when I mentioned our mission statement, is our goal is to invest in the potential of individuals and to create opportunities to strengthen families and build neighborhoods. That is our goal all day long. Please, those of you who are in Houston and surrounding areas, allow us to get you to your next level. Some of my favorite clients came into Wesley. They didn't have cars to drive. They didn't have homes that they lived in. They didn't have jobs to go to. We were able to connect with folks like On the Road Lending and get them into cars, reliable transportation. And now they have homes that they live in. They have mortgages that they pay. Some of them have rent that they pay. They have jobs to go to. Their lives have turned around tremendously. So the thing I say, allow Wesley to meet you where you are so that we can get you where you need to be. Don't look at COVID-19 as a setback, but look at it as your push up. Look at it as your opportunity to get you to your next level. Wesley Community Centers at 1410 Lee. Allow us to be a blessing to you. If you leave today and you say, I don't know where to go, it's because you chose not to go. Because I tell you, I'm giving you the keys. I'm giving you the plug. It's your time to put it in the socket and make that electricity work for you.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Sherelle.
Yes, sir.
All right. So Rachel, would you like to share any last parting words?
Yeah, absolutely. But you got me following her. Jeez. I'm trying with my enthusiasm. I'm working on it. No, I think my call is, to those folks that are, looking for a career, confused as to what you want to do. We have everything from, hands-on body work to paint to refinish, and collision repair is a huge business in this country. I know that there's multi-shop operators, some of the big fish out there that actually a lot of us have relationships with. I personally worked for one of the multi-shop operators. So, folks in the Atlanta area, Houston area, lots of vehicles, lots of cars, lots of jobs when the work returns. So now's a great time to return to learn. Now's a great time to think about, if you've been thinking about a career shift, if you like cars, if you like to paint even, there's a ton of artistry also. One of my secrets I'll let out is I'd love to recruit. My background's in fine art. I'd love to go find someone who has a background in welding and sculpture. They would be a stellar body person. To be able to work on cars, you have to understand line, color. Anyways, told you I can nerd out about it. But then my call to the action, I think, to the industry in general, to our industry, and to businesses right now is to think about the fact that it's okay right now to maybe set aside some profit and set aside some of that drive, always thinking about profitability, and do the right thing and think about your people. There's many times where we've all been moving so fast and we don't stop. In talent development, it was always frustrating. We don't stop and slow down and really ensure that our people are equipped with the right tools, the right skills, So again, it's about that return to learn and thinking about, where are areas that we can develop our people and prepare them both internally as a business or how we can partner with others and other groups to really get us all through this together. So thank you, Lonnie.
Thank you, Rachel. That return to learn, that's definitely something to leave us all with. Sherelle, if you wouldn't mind just muting, but appreciate, Sherelle, your words of encouragement. And Ms. Sheila, if you could also then just share from Dallas with us as we close out.
Yes, I'd like to start with sharing. I was reading an article from the World Economic Forum recently, and there was a stat that stuck with me, and I want to share it with you. By 2022, 49% of today's current jobs assignments will disappear to automation, and 35% of the jobs needed in the future don't even exist today. So as I think about those two facts, here's what I'd like to offer. Many of us have access to one of the most powerful tools ever invented for humans, and that's our cellular device. And we walk around with those every day, doing everything possible of social media, but we forget that this is a device of which we can use to help continue our personal development in an online environment. So my challenge to you is, if you are one of those fortunate people who are at home and you have some time after work, or you have some free time, take the time to look for podcasts, free training videos, webinars. There is an abundance of resources that are available to help you develop some of the critical human skills that are just basic, that will transition into any job. Those skills are like critical thinking, analytical skills, complex problem solving, persuasion and negotiation. I could go on, but there are many online tutorials that are free that you can use to help boost yourself. So leverage this downtime and make an investment in you. If you're seeking a new skill or a new job opportunity, we all know that you can come to any one of us in our respective areas. But if you're in the Dallas market area and you're specifically interested in any of the services or the training classes that we offer, please give us a call. Our number is 972-863-3391. We are recruiting now for our next insurance class. Again, 972-863-3391, and we will mitigate the wealth divide in this nation.
Excellent. I want to thank each one of you. This was a very powerful, distinguished panel. You all left and shared some phenomenal resources, but that pathway, that process does not end from this. Each of these organizations has websites. Please visit them. Please participate, partake of their programs. They're great programs. And of course, people need a car to get to work. So don't forget about on-the-road lending as well. We provide affordable, reliable transportation. So please look us up. We're in the states of Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and Texas. And I also want to make a plug for our next 4th installment. That will be August 11th, 1 p.m. Central Time, and the focus will be on entrepreneurship. Thank you again to our phenomenal panel. You all have been wonderful, and you've left a lot of different nuggets of information to really inspire people who have that desire to make great things happen. So thank you, and we appreciate you.